So if you've been following my content for the last little while, you probably know that I'm a big Power Rangers fan as well as everything else, but did you know the Gold Ranger was one of my favorites? Being a kid in the 90s was really amazing when you got to see the Power Rangers, how they started, where they came from, and eventually even changing into new Ranger costumes and new shows. And one of the most exciting changes was actually Power Rangers Zeo. Now Zeo followed right after Power Rangers. It introduced new costumes, new Zords, new everything. Everything was changed, everything was different. It was really cool. At the time, it was interesting as a Canadian or North American getting to see all these little changes, not knowing that in the Japanese version they changed them all the time. What we used to have as the previous Power Rangers series was actually two different complete Japanese Super Sentai series. So it was really interesting to see how that changed, and then since then everything's always changed as well. Now one of the things that changed specifically was how they changed, and that was from their morphers went directly to the new Zeonizer. Now the Zeonizers came from the specialized Zeo crystal. They had this entire plot line where they went and they had to find all the crystals, and that it got to be those new Rangers, and everything got, all the colors got shifted around, and took away the 6th Ranger. Now the 6th Ranger is one that everyone loves. The Green Ranger, the White Ranger, very popular at the time. When I was a kid I loved the Green Ranger especially, and that's why I have some of the stuff here. But it wasn't until this new 6th Ranger came out. It was, again, shrouded in mystery. The Power Rangers really loved doing shrouded in mystery 6th Ranger things. They had a lot of misdirects about who was going to be, including Billy, the original Blue Ranger, and a bunch of other strange choices. But it was really interesting how they approached it, and it quickly became one of my favorites. Not only because it ended up being Jason, the original Red Ranger, but it's just a cool Power Ranger. He had a big gold shield. It's very reminiscent of the original Green Ranger that we were familiar with, but also just kind of really neat. It wasn't until I was an adult that I learned a couple of really interesting things. One is, obviously, there was collectibles and toys and role-play accessories that they used the Japanese toys in the American series just like before. And one toy that I really wanted, because I made the Gold Ranger, aside from the staff, was the Gold Ranger Zeonizer. And it was one of those things that you really wanted. I could never find. I really wanted it. As an adult, especially going through these years, finding out that it was never actually used in the show. In the Japanese show, O-Ranger, it was actually used for the Gold Ranger, or for us it was the Gold Ranger. For them, I think it was just a Black Ranger, special Black Ranger. But he used the Gold Zeonizer, and it was just like what we had here for our role-play accessory or collectible, and we just never had it. Jason did a whole gold fist thing, and we just kind of changed using the power of the staff, but that still didn't stop me from wanting it. And it wasn't until San Diego Comic-Con came out that it actually had the legacy version from Bandai, which I know this is a couple years ago now, but I was still really excited to share this, of the Gold Zeonizers, and I really wanted it. So I had a friend who was able to pick them up for me, and it was pretty incredible to actually receive them and have them. It's a pretty rare little thing to have. I really like the Legacy line, and I'm really sad to see that it's done, although I know there's some really cool, exciting things coming up for Power Rangers, but the Legacy line was really well done. The one thing I did like was, looking at some comparison videos online and everything, was that the Zeonizers from the collectibles versus from the new Legacy line, both the regular and the Gold Ranger one, was pretty much the same size as the original toy / prop. So they did a really good job of translating that throughout prop to toy, back to prop, back to toy. So anyway, I really liked it. One thing I really also like about the San Diego Comic-Con exclusives is that they put them in cool cases. Now this doesn't have the top of its box, but you'll see here, and obviously you'll see in my close-ups in a second, of how they're displayed. You can actually display, so I actually have this displayed on my shelf, just like this. It's really cool. Each little detail of it is replicated really, really well, considering they added a lot more brighter material and everything. Motion sensor. This one doesn't have any electronics at all. It does have its pop-out feature, so that may be more. It has everything there. But yeah, it also has a dial, so you can actually change which one you have. It's got all the original things from each. So that's pretty cool. And then of course to activate, you gotta line it up. But yeah, honestly, if you have ever wanted these and you can get them still, it's great. Cool thing though is if you do want the originals that came out, they are pretty much the same size, even the same look and feel. You could actually get away with using those unless you want that whole legacy line in the display. But overall, these are like a 10 out of 10 for me. These are amazing. I love them. When it comes down to collectibles and having them in props, displaying, especially of things from your youth, it's always really amazing to have these. So I'm really excited to have these in my collection. But if you guys have any questions about these, or you want to comment who's your favorite Zeo Ranger, I really love the details of all that. And I actually do have more Gold Ranger videos coming up for sure. But let me know down in the comments below, which one's your favorite? Do you have a favorite series? Is there a prop that's like your favorite from all of them as well? But let me know like that. Thank you guys so much for watching, subscribing, and liking, and I will see you next week.